What is going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well. Before we start with the video, I want to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel for more NBA content like this, and also please be sure to leave a like. It makes a big difference in helping the channel grow, and I would greatly appreciate it. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video, but we are close to the playoffs. I'm back. I have a schedule now, and hopefully I can make a lot of awesome content for the playoffs because I am super excited for them. I think they could be one of the best because there's so much uncertainty around it. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about my Chicago Bulls. I've been wanting to talk about them for a while now, and I think given everything that's gone around with that team, especially recently, I kind of had to share my thoughts as a Bulls fan. So from the beginning, I tempered my expectations for the season. I knew this team was not a championship contender, but I expected them to, at the minimum, be a playoff team. And heading into the final game of the regular season, they are a playoff team. They clinched the 6th spot, which was what I wanted. I did not want them to be a play-in team, and I got my wish. So, with that, I basically feel satisfied with this season. The team met my expectations. I knew they weren't a championship contender, and I knew they weren't a top-tier team in the East. However, the way this team fell from where they were after the All-Star break has been hard to watch. I mean, look, when the season started in that first half up until the All-Star break, it was amazing. I mean, everything with this team was working so well. All of the new pieces fit together well. Lonzo Ball was incredible for us, shooting a career high from 3. Our best defender, doing so many things well for us on offense. Zach LaVine was doing his thing, playing great, an elite scorer. DeMar DeRozan was an all-NBA season, just having incredible scoring seasons. You could argue that he had his best season in his career, which is hard to say because he's been a really good player for so long. I mean, everything just worked so well for us on this team. Defense was top 10, which is something that people did not expect from us. Offense was top 5. Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan were an incredible scoring duo. And they were winning games against, at the time, good teams. They beat the Nets a couple times. They beat the Lakers and the Clippers. They beat the Jazz, the Nuggets. Like, it was like, okay, we're starting to beat these teams. We're going on a run. We had a really good winning streak in January where DeMar DeRozan hit a couple of crazy game winners. And heading into the All-Star break, the team was tied for first in the East. And as exciting as that was, and as fun as it was to watch this team, I knew in the back of my head, this team was not going to finish first. This team was going to drop off a little bit, but they were going to make the playoffs. I knew they would drop off and make the playoffs. I was correct in that. The way they dropped off, though, it was like a falling off a cliff. I mean, everything just went wrong for them. And there's so many things you can talk about, like, oh, who's to blame? I think there's a myriad of things you can talk about. So many injuries. COVID hit. Like, injuries happen for all the teams, right? And I'm not just saying this as the main excuse. But you cannot deny losing your 2 best defenders for a long period of time hurt the team. And one of them got injured in January and is not coming back at all. That hurts. Alex Caruso, he's back, and he's been back for a little bit now, but he's still not 100%. He's dealing with a back injury. Zach LaVine, I mean, I can talk about Zach LaVine for a while now, but he's been playing through injuries this entire season. A broken finger, messed up back, now the knee that he's playing through, and you can clearly see it's affecting him. He does not have the same bounce on his jump shots, and when he gets to the rim, you can see at times it's kind of like bothering him at times. He has some rough games this season, and man, it's been a mess. Patrick Williams only played like 5 games, and we had so many different lineups, and people off the bench had to sign guys like Malcolm Hill and Mac McClung to help us during COVID and injuries, because that's how bad it was. And, you know, as bad as it was, I kept thinking when they come back, it'll be all okay then. But that's not true. Everything went wrong for this team. They gotten blown out by every good team that you can think of. And that's the problem. Like the graphic that people share, right? The Bulls are 1-17 against the top teams. That really doesn't bother me that much, honestly. Like, yeah, it's nasty, right? That, oh, you couldn't even get 1 win against a really good team. Like, even the worst teams in the league, like the Pistons and the Thunder and the Rockets, get some fluke wins against really good teams. and we couldn't even get one. I agree that's nasty, but that's not even the worst part. It's not just that they lose to bad teams. They get blown out every single time. It's so annoying. By the Suns, they blown out every time. The Warriors blow them out. The Nets blew them out. The Bucks blew them out. The Heat blow them out. I mean, it's just been hard to watch. Like, I know we're not going to beat these teams. They're always way better than us. I knew that. But at least be competitive in them. It looks like they just don't care at times. The defense fell off a cliff. They're one of the worst in the league now. The offense is so bad. Like, it's hard to watch. So much hero ball with DeMar and LaVine. And look, it's fine when it works, but when it doesn't, it's annoying. I mean, God, I don't even know what... It's just kind of sad the way it fell. And again, I'm not like too angry because at the end of the day, I kind of expected this team to be where it is. But you can't help but feel disappointed knowing how good this team was. It just sucks. I think that's the bottom line, right? People are going to say, oh, the Bulls are frauds. I don't think you can say the Bulls are frauds because no one thought they were really doing anything anyways, right? Like, I knew they were a playoff team and that was kind of it. So how can you call the team a fraud when they weren't even really expected to do anything in the first place, right? Like, if you want to talk about frauds, you can talk about the Lakers because they had all this star power and they're not even a play-in team. The Bulls, weren't expected to be a championship contender. So you can't really call them frauds. Although you can call them a mid team. Because that's what they are. They're mid. And there's so many things, man. Billy Donovan is a good coach, but his rotations make no sense at times. There's like times where there's like no offense and no size. And you can tell because the teams get bullied on the rebounds and on second chance opportunities. And they have like no match on any big in the league. It's tough to watch. Offensively, again, I mentioned it, a lot of hero ball. Defense, they give up so many threes and so many backdoor cuts. And on offense, again, they don't know how to beat the trap. So DeMar just kind of settles a lot of the time. And that's hard to watch. Vucevic, I mean, God, what do I even start with that guy? He's been terrible. Like, from the whole season. Very inconsistent. And I was waiting for him to turn it around. And he did for a little bit. For like a couple weeks. And everyone's like, oh, okay, we got the regular Vooch back, right? We got all-star Orlando Magic Vucevic back. But then he went back to doing everything else. He cannot guard anybody. Anytime the Bulls play a competent center in the league, he gets cooked on both ends. He can't score on them, and he can't guard them. It's so infuriating to watch. Because he was supposed to be the third option on this team. And he plays so bad. His shooting splits are so nasty. 2 for 19, 3 for 18. Again and again, scoring single digits. Not even rebounding that well. Getting outsized. Getting outplayed by every big man in the league. Like Steven Adams cooked him. Right? Like Steven Adams is a good center. And he's not an elite center. But he gets cooked all the time. It's so hard to watch. And then Kobe White just can't do anything. I mean, Patrick Williams, like, he's back now. And I still think there's a little bit something there. But it's clear he's still kind of struggling. Ayo Dosunmu was so good that first half of the year. He clearly hit the rookie wall. It's so sad the way this team kind of just fell off. But again, as a fan, I'm trying to keep the perspective of this team was not expected to do well this season. They weren't expected to be an elite team. And they're not. They're mid. And that's just the reality of it. And they're the 6th seed now. And by the time this video comes out, we'll probably know who they play against. I'm not sure yet. But it's looking like it's going to be either the Celtics, the Bucks, or the Sixers. More likely the Bucks or Celtics. So we'll see what happens. But I don't like our chances against any of those teams. I really don't. Because they all have competent bigs. That's the main thing. Like the Celtics, I could say maybe they have a chance because of no Robert Williams. But as we saw the other day, the Celtics blew the fuck out of them without Robert Williams, right? Because all it took was Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and their incredible defense to slow down DeMar and Zach. And that was the end of the game. They can do that in the playoffs too. So, again, I don't like any of the matchups. The Bucks blow us out every time. And it's the defending champs anyway, so like, you're not going to beat them or Giannis. The Sixers, I want to think the Bulls have a chance against the Sixers. But Embiid's playing incredible. And that's the only thing, right? Like, Harden, I'm not too worried about because he has his struggles in the playoffs, but Vucevic versus Embiid is a nasty matchup, man. Embiid's gonna cook whoever, right? Like, if the Bulls just had a competent defensive big, I would like our chances, but with Vooch, I just don't feel like it, man. He's such a liability on this team. And it sucks because he was a big reason why this team is the way it is, because he came in last year on, supposed to be the reason for the Bulls to turn around their franchise. He was the reason that DeMar came here because he recruited him. So in a way, I'm grateful that he's here, and I would still do that trade 10 times over, right? Because of what he brought to this team and what he meant to the franchise to help bring us back from being a lottery team every year to a playoff team every year. But now I think it's time to move on from him. I don't know what you do because he still has 1 year left on his deal. I don't know if there's a legit market for him out there. I don't even know what legit replacement you can get for him. But I think it's hard for me to believe that you can just keep Vooch again next year knowing his limitations. Other guys like Kobe White, I really wanted Kobe White to thrive. I really thought he would. And he's had his moments, but it's been bad, man. Because he's supposed to be our shooter, and when he can't shoot, it's rough because he can't do anything else. His defense is terrible. His playmaking is just not great either. Like, his whole thing was just to make shots, and he can't even do that right, so that sucks. Had to bring in Tristan Thompson to save grace, and he's been rough, honestly. Like, it was cool in the beginning because it was like, okay, at least we have a competent backup big instead of Tony Bradley, but it's not been good. Again, I'll wrap it up by saying this. I'm still satisfied with where they are because, again, to turn around, to go from a 30-win team to a 45-win team is still great. I like the direction this team is going, and it's the first year of being good again. So to be a playoff team again, it's still really good for me. Like, I still feel really good about this team going forward. It's just a matter of what is this front office going to do to take us over the top. I love Zach LaVine. You got to pay him. I know there's a lot of conversations about what you do with him. I think any conversation about letting him walk in free agency is fucking stupid. Pay the man the max. $200 million, whatever it is. Give him all of it. He deserves it. He's proven he cares about this team and this franchise and this city. He deserves the max. It's not even a debate for me. So pay him. You have DeMar. Lonzo's going to come back hopefully. Ayo's shown a lot of promise. Caruso's good. Patrick Williams hopefully takes another step. Like, there's still pieces here that you can build around, and hopefully you can bring in more depth too. And you can have a really good team next year. So, as disappointing as the end of this season has been, and this playoff exit will be kind of nasty, I'm expecting them to get blitzed in the first round. I still feel good about the direction of this franchise. And I haven't been able to say that in a very long time. So, in the big picture, I'm okay with everything the way it is right now. Although, microscopically in this season, it's hard to not be disappointed in the fall from grace. But that's going to be it. I've talked long enough. I'm running out of my voice, so I'll end it there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like and comment down below your thoughts on the Bulls team and what you think they should do next season. What are some guys you think the Bulls should go after in the offseason? Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button for more NBA content like this. And that's it. Thank you guys as always for your continued support. I'll have my playoff predictions uploaded soon. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.